Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're all well. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make one of these 3D diamond, I guess. So this is what it looks like. These are so fun, and I'm going to be making all of mine into a keyring. Apart from this one, which as you can see I've made into a pendant. So I'm going to show you how to make this design today because it's easier with these three different colours for you to see, you know, sort of which beads you need to go through. It's easier for me to show you more like so for beginners. Once you get the hang of it, you can play around with patterns and colours or do all one colour like this. But that is quite tricky to begin with, just to know which beads you're going through. So let's get started. So to do this design that I'm going to show you today, you'll need some size 11 Delica beads. It's important that they are Delica beads and not round seed beads. It just makes for a neater shape. So you need 3 colours of seed beads, and so I'm going to be using these 3. So I'm doing these bright contrasting colours because mine is going to be for a keyring, so I'm not going for like colours that really go together. I want it to be like bright and stand out. That's why I've gone for these colours that do not match. And then you'll also need your beading thread, and 6-pound file line definitely does hold the shape pretty well because there's nothing in the middle of there, it's hollow and it holds up the structure really well. You'll need a beading needle, and then depending on what you want to attach it to, you know, you'll need your chain if you want a necklace or earring findings, but for now I'm just putting mine onto head pins, so you'll need a head pin as well. Let's get started. So we're going to be making 6 little peyote stitch triangles. So we're going to make 6 of those. So for each piece of thread I usually cut around 12 to 14 inches of thread. That's 12 to 14, not 40. It depends how you feel about working with a very small piece of thread at the end. So if you're not comfortable with that, I'd say do more like 14 inches for each piece. And for one of your pieces it wants to be a little bit longer than the rest because that's the one you're going to finish off the piece with. So starting with 3 of your main colour. So the main colour on this example is the pink, so there's all this pink. The second colour is this, like, it looks white on here but it's actually blue, this pale colour in here. And the third colour we won't be using for a while, but that is this metallic purple. So at the minute we're just going to be using the main colour, which is the pink, and the second colour, which is this one. So if you want to work out which colour you want where. So picking up 3 of your main colour, sliding those down. You don't need to leave much of a tail at all, I really only tie 1 knot with it and then cut it off. So now you're going to sew up through the first bead. So you have this. Now picking up 2 of that main colour and coming out of this one, you're going to go straight into that next one. Like that. Picking up 2 more. And we're coming out of this one. Going to go straight into that next one. This is creating our 3 corners of our little triangle. So we have this. Picking up the last 2 of this round and coming out of this one, going straight into the next one. Because it's the last in the round, we're also going to step up into that bead above. So we have this. Picking up 2 more of your main colour. So the main colours are always going to be on the corners, and then we're going to fill in the gaps in between with our second colour. So picking up 2, we're coming out of this one, we'll go straight down into that one next to it, only through that top one. Then we're going to pick up one of our second colour. Coming out of here, you're going to skip over one and go through that next one, which is on the corner. Now we're on the corner again, so picking up 2 of those. Coming out here, we're going to go straight down into that next one. Okay, now picking up one of your second colour. So we're coming out here, we're going to skip over one, go through the next one. And picking up 2 more. So we're on this corner now. Coming out of here, we're going to go straight down into that one next to it. And picking up one of your second colour. Oop. And we're coming out here, we're going to skip over one, go through the next one, and because it's the last one in the row, we're also going to step up into the row above. So you're going to go through, skip over one and go through the next 2. So we're coming out here. We're going to add another row. So we're on the corner, so adding 2 green ones and going straight down into the next bead. Picking up one of your second colour. And you're going to be skipping over one and going straight through that one there of your second colour that's in the row below. Picking up another one. Skipping over one and going through the corner bead on the top row. Now picking up 2 of your main colour, going straight down into the next bead. Picking up one of your second colour and going into that middle bead. Picking up another one of your second colour, going into that top corner bead. Again picking up 2 corner beads of your main colour, coming out here, going straight down through the next one. Picking up one of your second colour, going into that second colour one that's already there in the middle, and picking up your final bead for this row. Skipping over one and going through the next 2. So through that one and the one on the top. Pull that tight. Now we have this. Now you need to take your needle off of your working thread and thread it onto your tail thread. So I've threaded it onto my tail thread, so you should be coming out of one of these centre 3 beads. I'm going to sew it up through any beads really, just moving up into the middle here somewhere, and then I'm going to tie a knot. So I'm just going to take my needle under the thread that connects the bead I'm coming out of to the next one. Pull that down and go through that loop to make a knot. And then I'm going to move this thread up to the top and cut it. Okay, so that's the first finished triangle, and you need to leave your working thread attached and make 5 more of these. So you need 6 in total, all exactly the same, with all of the working threads still attached, and you can cut off all the tail threads. So when you've done that, I'll show you what to do next. So as you can see, I've done all 6 of my little triangles. They look really cute, and if you wanted to keep going and making the triangle bigger and bigger, you just keep doing the same thing, adding 2 beads in the corner and then filling in the gaps in the side with the other colour. And so you could make this a lot bigger. I'm thinking of probably at Christmas I'm going to make like a big one to hang on the tree. But for now, what we need to do next is find out which one of these has got the longest amount of thread left on it and leave that to one side, because you're going to use that last. And then for the rest, you can just pick them up at random. So thread your needle onto one of your other triangles, doesn't matter which one. Now we're going to be working with our third and final colour, which are these ones in between. So I'm going to be doing this bright corally orange colour. So for this first triangle, we're going to add a complete extra row. So we're adding these orange beads all the way around on every side, but in the corners, instead of putting 2 beads, you're just going to put 1. That gives it that point. So starting on the corner, pick up 1, go straight into the next bead. Picking up 1, go straight into the next one on the top row. Picking up 1, skip over 1 into the next one. Pick up 1, skip over one into the next one on the top row. So you're filling in all these little gaps, if you can see that, with the orange beads. So when you get to the corner again, picking up one, this time not two, remember, and straight into the next one. Then you're going to fill in this side with orange beads as well. So picking up your next one, going straight into the next bead, and then fill in the last side in the same way. Okay, so when you get to the last one, just do the same thing. You can go up into that orange one as well if you want, but that's the last row for this. So then I'm going to just tie a knot right here. Move my thread away, and then I'm going to cut it. So that's the first one. So now you need to thread your needle onto your second triangle. So for the second triangle, we just need to go around two sides. So starting in the corner, put your single bead into the corner. Now fill in this side. Add your single bead at the corner. Now fill in this side. Add your last single bead on the corner, but you're not going to fill in this last side. So add that last single bead, so you've got this. Now getting your first one, hold them together like this. So you've got the one at the front that's not got that last side filled in, and the one at the back. So coming out of this green one, so you're going to be going into the orange ones, or whatever your third colour is, on the other side. So going into that one. Now back into the next one on the front. So if you hold it sideways like this, you'll be able to see you're coming out of that one. So you need to go into the next one that's going to fill that gap, which is going to be this purple one on the front triangle. So now you're coming out of this bead on the front triangle, you're going to go into the next of your third colour on the back triangle. Now you need to go into the next one on the front triangle, so again if you hold it like this you'll see that you're coming out of that one on the back, so you need to go into the next one on the front, not the one that's directly under it, but the one that's going to slot into place next. So you're coming out this one on the front, you need to go into the next of your third colour on the back. And now into the last one on the front, so we're coming out of this one, so this is the front triangle, into that last green bead. Like that. You can also go through the orange one, it doesn't matter. So when you open it out, those two have been zipped together, pull it nice and tight. So now you can tie your knots and cut your thread for this one. Okay, so now thread your needle onto your third triangle. So again we're starting on the corner, picking up your one, going straight into the next one. And then fill in this first side. This time we're only filling in one side with the orange beads. Now add your next single bead on the corner. So now we've got this with the one side, so this is going to be attached. If I just show you, if you fold this one that you just made, sort of fold it in half like that, this is going to be attached here like this. So you can flatten it back out, and you're going to start with this side here where your thread's coming out of, get it lined up with one of these, and just hold it like that. Okay, so same exact thing as before, so you come in from this bead to 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 this bead. So front, to back triangle going through these orange beads on the back triangle into the ones on the front that slot into those spaces, those purple ones, like that. So I hope that makes sense. So zip that side up, like so, and open it out. Now when you get to the corner you still need to add your single bead. So picking up another one of your orange beads and going into that next bead. See if this, now you need to fold it so that this side meets this side, like that. Now it's a little bit more tricky to hold. So again, we're just coming out of this side, we're going to go straight into the next bead on the other side, straight into the next bead on the other side, and so on and so forth. Zip this side up the same way we did the others. Into that orange one as well if you want on the end. Pull it nice and tight. So that's the first half done. Now you can tie this thread into a knot and cut it off. You thread your needle onto your fourth triangle. Okay, so starting on this one, always start with your corner bead because you should be coming out of this top bead here. Picking up one of your corner beads and go straight into the next one, like that. So this one we're going to add 2 extra sides with the orange beads, so add your row here, fill in the gaps with your orange beads on this first row, and add your corner bead, and now fill in this next side as well, and add your corner bead there. But we're not going to fill in this side because this is where it's going to attach to this. Now when I do this, I'm going to take this and sort of hold it inside my finger inside it like that, and this one like this, so it's a bit easier to hold because it's getting a bit awkward now. So we're going to zip them up, so coming out of this one into that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and into the green one. So zip them up like that. Okay, and then you can tie this one off and cut the thread. So now you've got this, which if you zipped up would be a little pyramid. And we're going to thread your thread onto your 5th triangle, thread your needle onto your 5th triangle. So starting in the corner again, as always, add that first corner bead. This time we're just going to add one side with the orange beads, so fill in this first side with orange beads. And add your corner bead as well. We're not going to fill in the other 2 sides because they're going to join on here. This is your side where you've added the extra row. That needs to be sitting like that. So your 2 empty sides are going to be filled up with these orange beads and these orange beads, if you see what I mean. So make sure you've got it lying the right way round, and then zip it up in the same way. So into the orange, into the next purple, and so on and so forth. Zip it up in the same way we have before. Okay, so now we've got this. So now you need to add your little corner bead, like that. And now this needs to be attached to these orange beads here. So zip them up same way as always. So I'll zip that one up. I like how these are kind of looking like little flowers. It's quite cute. So now you can tie off this thread, tie your knot and cut it off. Okay, so now you need to thread your needle onto your last one, and this should be the one with the longest thread on it, like I said earlier. This time you don't need to add any orange beads, only in the corners. So starting with this corner, just add that one, like that. and it's just going to slot into this space right here. It doesn't matter which way round it goes because they're all, you know, the same. So this is admittedly a little bit fiddly, so usually for the first one I'll just put my finger inside like that and zip up this side, so do that. Apologise for all the noise in the background, we've got a family barbecue about to happen. So then add your corner bead once you get to the top. Oops. Now you need to close it like this. This is when it gets a bit awkward to hold, but as long as you're gentle and you don't squeeze it too hard that you collapse it while you're doing it. So now you need to zip up this side. Okay, so we've done that. Now you need to add your last little corner bead. Straight down into this green one. And zip up this final side. So they'll zip together like that. So go ahead and do that, and then we're just about almost finished. There's one more step after that. Okay, so I've zipped up that last side and I'm coming out of one of these orange beads here. And what I'm going to do is circle through the 4 orange beads that are on this little point on the corner. Don't have to do that, but I think it just brings the corners together into more of a point like that, rather than these open corners like this. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to then move my thread along to the next corner, do the same, and again to that one as well. So do that, and then your diamond is finished. So once you've done that, you can, if you're not adding like any jump rings using your thread, you can cut your thread off. Like I'm going to attach this using a head pin, so I'm going to go ahead and cut my thread off now, so you can go ahead and do that. Okay, so the last thing I'm just going to do is put my head pin through the bottom like that, so straight through those middle 3 beads on the bottom, and then I'm going to cut a bit off and create a loop using my round nose pliers like this. Be careful you don't break any beads when you're doing this, especially if you're using these silk inside beads, they're very delicate. Then that's your finished diamond to do whatever you want with. So here's the finished diamond, so I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you found this helpful. I hope it wasn't too confusing or noisy in the background. So yeah, that's what they look like. Really fun. I'm going to put all these together on one keyring, I think. So let me know if you enjoyed this video, comment down below, and like this video if you did, and subscribe to see more of my videos. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at beadingbyhannah. I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!